Hello and welcome to Bat and the Bee video 4. So when we left off, we had put in some details here to make those two sprites disappear on the end game screen. So let's get one of those conditions going here so we can test that. Alright, that could have gone either way. I wasn't sure if he was going to win or lose. So indeed, the two sprites are now gone. You might notice that for both of these sprites, the hidden box is highlighted there. All right. The problem here is when we go to play the game again, those sprites are still hidden. They're actually there. They're flying around, but you can't see them. So therefore, they're not interacting, and so there's no scoring at all going on. Well, to fix this problem, we're going to need to go into each of the two scripts for these sprites and just simply add a single command. Right where we find the hide command, it's matching show. So we'll do that for both the bat and the bee. So in other words, every time we start the game, we're going to make sure that that sprite is not hidden from the previous game, right? All right, that should take care of that. Well, one thing I noticed as we play this game is that situation right there. That second sting, first of all, it somehow got triggered twice, and we didn't even hear the scream before we went to this end game screen. So, a fix for that is usually pretty simple. It's just a timing issue. So let's drag in a couple of wait blocks. What we're talking about now is just waiting less than a second. And once again, we're just allowing these scripts for the sprites to finish their job. Remember, it's the stage director here saying, hey, this was a game-ending condition. Go ahead and execute this sequence here for the lose screen, or the other one for the win screen. But before we do that, in this game-losing situation here, let's give the script time to finish. Remember, the scream takes 2 seconds, right? So we'll hear most of it if we wait, a second or so. You can play with these values in these waits and fine-tune your game. Let's take a look at that and see if there's an improvement. Now, it might take a minute to see this. And once again, we didn't see that second one. So students, I'm going to let you play with these behaviors. At some point, Scratch is just not going to be perfect, right? You have to accept that. It's not a professional gaming engine for sure. All right, well, let's wrap up our discussion here with some plans for your project. All right, well, remember, everybody, that the purpose of this tutorial series for the Bat and the Bee was to provide you a model for creating your own interactive Scratch project. In particular, I really wanted to make sure that you got to see the broadcast and receive commands. Those are very useful for one sprite to trigger the action, say, of another sprite. And in particular, for the stage and the stage director to be calling the shots. So the stage director from his script can be giving instructions to all of the other sprites, controlling their timing when they're on stage, that is, they're visible, or off stage, they're hidden, when various backdrops for the stage appear and disappear, the game start conditions, etc. So for sure, think of the stage script as your stage director. Other than that, you are free to create a project, that's something you dare to imagine. It does not have to be a game. And in particular, I really don't want to see a bunch of programs that look just like this with different sprites and basically the same action. The purpose of this video is just to talk through some of these important things that you learned in Scratch, with the expectation that you'll use these and, of course, others that you've learned along the way to do something really cool and impressive. I'm also reminding you that this is not a place to go find something online and remix it or change a few things and say, hey, it's mine. There's an important discussion in the notes about academic integrity, so please be mindful of that. But really, this is Scratch. It's meant to be fun, so make something really cool. Students, it's certainly okay to get ideas and motivation from other Scratch projects that you can see online. Just be careful. But one thing that I would say is an okay thing to do is if, for example, you see a great sprite that someone has made, that took a lot of precision in the paint to draw, you are able to go into another project and right-click on that and export that sprite. And there it is on the bottom, so you can then import that sprite into your project. Scratch was designed from its conception to make this possible so that, especially young people could collaborate and share. So sharing Scratch projects is by design intended to be easy and fun. All right, so in the coming class, I will refine the requirements for the project for this final lesson in Scratch before moving on to Python. So look there for more details about what needs to be in your project. All right, we'll see you in class.